Okay, I think we're live.
Ayun, we're live. We're live again for another episode of HR Shouts and Whispers, episode number 57. Pero syempre, pag-uusapan natin ngayon mga solid na topics, di ba? So, again, stay tuned. And syempre, if you have any questions, comments, or any insights, comment nyo lang dito sa comment section. Syempre, my name is Ken Sumera and the main host natin, Christina Reclamado. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Ken. Good evening, everyone. So we're having our podcast once again. So we're going to talk about bouncing back from crisis. So, because it's very timely, with our guests, we're going to talk about how to recover, because I'm sure a lot of people are also facing some obstacles this period. Okay, so I'll introduce the guests. The first guest is, he's a life coach, and he's also the CEO and founder of LifeKite. So, Mr. Edward Bam Santiago. Hi, Bam.
Hi, good evening, Christina. Good evening, Eunice and Ken. Thanks for having me here, and to everyone watching. Hi.
So I think you've been busy. I see your FB lives as well.
Yeah. I try as much as I can to, to be out there and share the message.
Okay. And then, a returning guest. Okay, so we have, one of our good friends from the freelancing community. Okay, she's a remote work advocate. Okay, Miss Eunice Punzalan. Hi, Eunice.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Bam. Hi, Ken.
Hi.
Salamat sa pag-invite and I'm so happy that I'm back sa HR Shouts and Whispers.
Yeah, long
Na-miss
time
ko
no
din.
see.
Na-miss ko mag-live.
I'll ask our guest. So because we're all affected by the pandemic, so how have you been coping with this pandemic? So, Bam.
Oh, well, since the start of the lockdown in March, it's been a roller coaster. That's what I share every time I can. Krishna. There are days where it's sort of like I'm cruising. There are days it's very difficult. But then again, sinasabi ko nga sa lahat, but isn't life like that for a lot of us also? It's just that now we're really more focused on it because we're not busy, going out, meeting people, doing what we normally do outside. So parang mas na-highlight lang those times perhaps when we're feeling, yung parang aligaga, we're not okay or uncomfortable. So it's just highlighted. But it's definitely roller coaster for me, Christina, definitely.
Yeah. So, a lot of people also, it's a roller coaster. How about Eunice?
Ako, major shift kasi yung nangyari sa akin. So, during pandemic, medyo in denial pa ako. Kasi, di ba, we've been at home for a long time. So, parang, nung mga first 2-3 months, parang inisip ko pa nun, kaya to. And then, after a while, medyo syempre nag-struggle din ako. And then, I moved out of the house and went solo living. So, medyo mas mabigat siya. Mabigat siya emotionally, financially din.
Oh,
But I'm coping
okay.
up with it. And ayun, as I enter to a new season, so I'm getting married so by the end of the month.
Wow,
So,
congratulations.
Wow, congrats.
thank you. So ayun, medyo coping na naman. And medyo mas maluwag na kasi ngayon compared dun sa mga nakaraang buwan. So medyo nakakagalaw-galaw na din with caution. So ayun.
Right.
Okay, so si Bam, I see his mga post, and I saw him in Ariba. Okay, so ito for couples, okay, mahirap ba for your clients who are couples na parang 24 hours sila magkasama sa isang bubong?
That's a great question. Alam mo, meron kaming, I used to be in the music industry, and meron kaming kasabihan, yung banda mo, your band, you'll know that you really like each other if you get to go play abroad for 3 months or 6 months, and pag uwi nyo, you're still friends. Banda yon, But it's the same, I would say, lalo na sa mag-asawa. I'm laughing because it's pretty crazy what what people are going through. You're locked down with someone and you're really discovering, like, do I even like this person, I'm with? Why am I even with this person, and nakikita ko lahat ng, but also, you're dealing with your own stress and all these things you're struggling with. Then there's another person, and minsan na-highlight yung, may ikakasal pala dito, no?
Yeah, it's good to hear that. So,
It's good to
I'll
hear
be
that,
ready.
Kaya nag-adlib ako ng question kasi.
Kaya pala, may ganun sa yeah. But I must say, I want to add this also, no? But for those people, congratulations to you. But it's normal. I mean, you go through struggle. There's no couple or relationship that does not go through struggle. I think that's we have to identify, say that first. But for those people who did get through this lockdown, loving and learning to grow and respect their spouse more, and deepening their relationship with their spouse or their children, I'd say congratulations. Ibig sabihin you're able to shift that. For other people who are just breaking down, but definitely, that's why we're here to shed some light and perhaps give some help, because a lot of people did break down, during this lockdown. Yun.
Well, just to share, okay, kasi kami na asawa ko, we actually have an agreement. Ano na lang, imbes na mag-away, magkikiss na lang. Ganon.
Uy, okay yun.
Magandang agreement
yan. Ilang beses kaya sila nagkikiss sa isang araw with that agreement?
Diba? Kasi mag-aaway.
Alright.
Yan na lang usapan namin. Okay. Kasi kami lang dito, okay? And it's, well, there was a time that we got separated kasi he was sick, okay? Tapos he had to be quarantined. We got to be isolated. Pero ngayon, we're back together. Tapos yun na nga, close na kami. Yun ang joke namin. Okay. So, the reason that we thought about this episode actually is a lot of people are, this is the last quarter of the year, and siguro by this time, you watch the news and pinag-uusapan i-defer daw yung 13th month pay. Okay, and some companies who are smaller in size, okay, they're probably closing down. So, madaming nawalan ng trabaho.
Yeah.
So, okay, people are breaking down. Okay, so Edward, Bam, if when people you're all, when your clients and then all your audience ask you, okay, so how do you deal with that? So there are days that are really bad. So what are techniques or tips for those days?
Well, first of all, my heart goes out to those people, and I also got to watch some of your videos when you were doing interviews, Christina, and I thought that was a concern. So, having to speak to people. I think you had this guest. I can't remember his name. The guy with the emotional intelligence work. But really being able to Kevin, yeah. I like that when you were having that discussion, because you also mentioned that, I mean, at the end of the day, you're dealing with a human being, and sometimes just realizing that a technique or a strategy or or some tool may not suffice in a situation where people are breaking down. So I would say first, and then just my experience, I would say first, holding space for people to just see that, that's why a cliche na siya, but we say to go through a space or a time in your life where you're not okay. It's totally okay. But a lot of people kasi gusto nila, they want quick fixes. But I say, first to acknowledge that you're not okay, that you're feeling fearful, which I've felt also throughout, the 7 months. You're feeling fearful, there's anxiety. I think it's okay to acknowledge that you're in that space, because tao ka. The more that you repress it, this has been my experience, the more people repress it, kunyari mag-asawa tayo, dun mag-away. Yun again, para kay Eunice, no? Pag nirepress mo yan, dun mag-aaway na kayo. Dun mag-aaway na kayo. Well, because I think at the end of the day, Chris, it's about being real. That's why I think emotional maturity is so important. If I was in a relationship with Eunice, I would say, Eunice, this is overwhelming for me. I feel scared, and for her not to make my experience wrong, but to just be there for me. That's so important. A lot of people will say, okay lang yan, and again, I with sensitivity, I say this, but things will get better. There's always a purpose, and we can all say these things, but to just allow the person to say, if you're feeling scared, feel the emotion. If you're feeling angry, feel the emotion, acknowledge it. But it doesn't mean, ito yung importante, it doesn't mean you take an action that will hurt yourself. Since we're talking about, mental health as well, that will hurt yourself or hurt other people. That's important. That you can go through life in the struggle of not being okay, but it does not mean it's okay for you to hurt yourself and hurt other people. So acknowledging first that you're not okay. Breathing is so important. Gratitude is so important. Mabilis lang to, so I'll pass it back. But also having a vision. When I started this lockdown, to have a vision, how many people started with a vision of what it will look like by December, at the end of the year? If you were able to create that at the start of this lockdown, congrats. Otherwise, every single day you're just going to be uncertain, like what's going to happen. You have to have a picture, Christina, of where you want to be headed. Otherwise, every day it's just uncertain. So prayer is very important. Visualization, having those goals, that vision written down, and sharing it and speaking about it every day. Versus what? Versus being anxious and angry and paranoid, which we all were at one time. It's just going to make you break down. It's just going to keep you depressed. So it's so important to be able to have at least that other side of it as well.
It's so good.
Well, yeah, we all went through that. Okay, I went through that. Okay, and I became Chewbacca.
What's Chewbacca? What is that?
Yeah, that's my alter ego. Si Ken, kilala niya yun. Okay, Ken, when I get so frustrated, okay, so I look mild-mannered, okay, but minsan there's anger, there's, why... release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Parang release the Kraken. Nag-iibang anyo ako.
Yeah.
Okay.
but interestingly enough, it's those of us who are, mukhang maamo, mild-mannered. Those of us who are like that are the ones who get the worst when we're angry. Pag lumabas na yun talaga. There's a lot of, for a lot of people, a lot of repressed energy of aggression and anger. So I understand that, sure.
Yeah, and I went through that phase, and then kasi we're on that October I just figured, nako, pag may nangyari pang something unexpected, parang just bring it on. Parang kasi hindi pa naman ako namamatay, okay? So I'm still here. So parang I'll just deal with it. Parang ganon. Pero the past, like when it happened June, July. Okay, so parang sunod-sunod talaga siya. Parang kailan ba matitigil to, etc., etc. So I don't know. And then there was one episode, I'll just say, with Ken and the group, okay, pila na lang siyang lumabas. Okay, yun. So, So, but ngayon, I'm tamer kasi parang na-release ko na siya. So, tapos na yun.
Well, can I say something about that really quick, which is important?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, first of all, kudos to you for having that self-awareness na, bam, I turn into Chewbacca, and this is what I do, this is how at least may awareness ka ngayon, because other people are not even aware, hindi nga Chewbacca, King Kong na sila. And parang pag kinonfront mo sa whatever, like, talaga ako, hindi ako ganyan, ha? I mean, a lot of people are unaware, but to have an awareness that, yeah, there are times that I just lose it, blow my top, and I just go crazy. Example lang. But then, this is very important for those people who are watching as well. Lalo na sa mag-asawa, it's important to understand, whenever I get to that space where I turn into Chewbacca or whoever your alter ego is when you're going crazy, the most important question to ask at that moment is, how am I feeling? And number two, what am I needing? At that point in your life, there's something that you're needing. You have a basic human need that's not being met. Maybe at that time, I know, Christina, you needed, maybe compassion, maybe rest, maybe attention. Maybe you needed support. Maybe you needed just to sleep. Maybe you just needed someone to just be. I'm saying it could be a whole host of things, and I'd love to hear what you're thinking. And if your need is not being met, that's when nagpapatong-patong yan, and then we just explode. It may be like, for me, whenever I blow my top, I get angry. Most of the time I need attention, and when I say attention, I just need someone to say, "Bam, it's gonna be okay," it's all right, it's good, and I simmer down. But kung ganun ka and then mag-react lang yung mga tao sa paligid mo, then it's just everyone is just exploding. But maybe reflecting on that at that time, what was it that you were needing for you as a human being?
Ikaw, Eunice, may alter ego ka ba?
Meron.
What's the name of your alter ego?
Wala, hindi ko naman nini-name. Pero kasi bihira akong sumabog. Medyo matagal mag-tick yung aking time bomb. Pero pero hangga't kinakaya naman. Medyo matiisin yata ako.
Hindi, kasi kaya siya Chewbacca. Ano yan eh. I think Bam you remember me and Obi. Obi Montessori.
Absolutely. Of course.
So, actually, makita mo, tahimik lang ako, di ba? Pero actually, my closest friends know that pag napupuno ako, pumupunta ako sa CR. Tapos doon ako sumasabog. Okay, I don't show it. Okay. Pero kasi this particular episode, okay, pandemic, ang nakakatawa dyan is because sunod-sunod siya. Yung parang walang tigil. Like June, July. Okay. And then, basta it was just like one keyword that was uttered. Talagang sumabog ako. Alam mo yan, Ken. Anyway, si Ken, may alter ego pa?
Padami.
Okay.
Padami. Through the years, kasi I work with change then sa sarili ko. So parang there were like alter egos for like certain circles. So meron isang circle na kailangan ko maging super professional, may isang circle na talagang gago lang talaga ako. I could just be anyone. So yun. Pero yung in regards dun sa galit, I attended this workshop kasi before from one of my good friends and mentor, si Dr. Strix. What's up, man? We called it parang the Limitless program. So in there, we were taught about how to manage thought, how to manage our energies. So pag nagagalit ako, I got to install something sa utak ko. Pag galit ako, may question yun eh. Galit ka ba talaga? So that string of like words would just repeat and repeat. Galit ka ba talaga? Oo, tangina, galit ba ako? Tapos tuloy ulit yun. Galit ka ba talaga? Hanggang sa mamaya-maya, you repeat that question. Mapapansin mo na lang, galit ba ako talaga? Hindi. Tapos pwede ka na mag-reframe to other thoughts that could actually help control the feelings that are connected to those thoughts. So, yun. So, ngayon, hindi ako masyado nagagalit. Pag napapansin ko lang umiinit na ulo ko, I'll just go to my computer and just play Dota and just like clear it up. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for all of you. Okay, so ano ba yung mas maganda? Yung sumasabog o yung tumatahimik pag galit? Or pagka nagbe-breakdown?
Yeah. There's actually, just my take, there's actually, in my experience, there's actually studies that were done on aggression and expressing anger. And it always shows that being able to express or let off the steam is beneficial to your human body versus keeping it in. But I have to may caveat or disclaimer. It doesn't mean that you punch people or you hurt people. That so ang framework naman dyan is recognize, right, that you're upset, you're angry. Number two is release. Find a way to release the anger, but release responsibly. And there's a clear distinction. How do I release responsibly whatever aggression I'm feeling? When you're not blaming, shaming other people, and you're not hurting them physically or emotionally or verbally. It's just an awareness, it's just a framework, because we all have done that where, alam mo bakit ako galit? Ikaw kasi, magbago ka lang, okay na ako. Nung mawala ka lang sa mundo, okay na ako. But it never, heals the relationship, or it never makes it better. But so there are actual studies that show being able to express, and also when you don't express it, whether it's pain or aggression, it hurts your body physically as well.
Ako, I'll just want to add, kasi sa trabaho, when you work from home, hindi advisable. I tell this to newbies and aspiring remote workers, na they keep it to themselves. They really have to tell it to their clients or to their teammates kapag meron silang struggles, kasi they can be your support system din in this kind of setup, lalo na when you work from home. Hindi mo naman basta pwedeng event out lang sa magulang mo or sa kapatid mo na may problema ka sa work. So you have to bring it to the people who are, who can help you as well. So bring it to the right channel. So kung yung boss mo or yung ka-teammate mo, tell it to them. Hindi na uso yung tatahimik na yung kailangan nating magsalita. Ayun. So for those who are wanting to transition sa remote work, you really have to practice to express yourself.
Yun.
Ayun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yun. On my end, ako 100% agree with letting it out. Depende kung how you let it out. So for some people, they watch porn. For some people, they watch.
Actually, maganda yung porn na yan ata. Sorry.
Ay,
Yun din kasi.
Depende yan how
Hindi, may napanood kami nanood kami ng Ratchet. Oh, that's a nice Netflix parang it's a mini series.
Kakatapos ko lang ng Emily in Paris.
Ganda.
Yeah.
So yeah, for some they watch porn. For some they punch like the wall, have a punching bag.
Yeah.
Some people get to release these stress or these feelings inside through exercise. Exercise works well too. Diba?
Yeah.
Some through iba-iba eh. Some through they fixate it through vomiting, they fixate it to like sleeping. Depende how you frame your mind how to work with it. Pero 100% agree with everyone here. It's very very important also to let it out. So think about it. You could find really good friends that would actually listen. Not all friends listen eh. Yun yung problema, di ba? Not all friends listen. Some will just say, pero at least you're getting the words out. And after that, there's a good feeling na parang hindi mo na siya nararamdaman kasi na let out mo na eh.
Yeah.
So, iba-iba yung tao. So, find a way and where you could get a good feeling when you let it out. Yeah. Utot mo yan. Iutot mo yan.
Oo. And then kasi, kasi there was that June and July kasi, that was the height of my weight loss, okay? So, in my new diet, nagsabay pa kasi my diet, so it was like no rice. Meron siyang side effect na nakakaasar, okay? You actually are, ito TMI to, when you eat no rice, you become constipated. Tapos may problema ka pa. So, sabay-sabay yun. So, yun lang yun. Okay, so that was really gross. Okay, but really, that was like not a good, kasi I have to also, and then I had like a lot of medication that time. So, for my blood sugar. So, anyway, going back, yung mga ito, young people, is it true young people have adjusted well or better to the pandemic than the older ones? Or what can you say about that? Yung mga Gen Z, okay, parang wala silang problema ngayon, and then the middle-aged people have more problems than the Gen Z people. Is that true?
I think everyone has a fair share ng struggles. Kasi, I mean, Gen Z, kung mga kapatid ko na nag-online learning ngayon, they have their fair share of struggle, and it doesn't necessarily mean na bata ka ay mas mabilis kang mag-cope. I think the emotional maturity doesn't really equate sa edad ng tao. So ayun, lahat naman nag-struggle ngayon. From my perspective, even sa remote work, yung mga katrabaho ko, yung sa space ng pagtatrabaho sa bahay, may mga fair share ng struggles eh.
Okay. So we were supposed to also invite somebody else. She's a career expert, but unfortunately, she's dealing with an emergency problem. But I'll ask you guys, okay? Because it's the time that people are losing work, okay? So everyone's affected. All age groups are affected, okay? So do you think that if like somebody my age in their 40s, okay, can they transition to remote work that easily?
I think yes, it's possible. Kung galing sila sa sa work experience na office din, and they're very well off din naman sa paggamit ng computer because you need tech when you start working from home. May kakilala nga ako na 60 years old na still can, compete and can still work productively and efficiently. So, generally, yes. Sa remote staff, which isa sa mga kliyente ko, age doesn't really matter as long as you can do the job and you can actually give value and help the client. Go lang ang remote staff and you are
So,
very welcome.
what are popular openings for freelancing, for the freelancing industry?
I can only speak on behalf of remote staff kasi yun yung currently hawak ko ngayon. It's actually an agency. Medyo bumaba yung number of clients simula nagkaroon ng pandemic kasi madaming businesses din sa Australia yung nag-close down. But simula nung dumating tong October, medyo lumuluwag na rin sa kanila and maraming leads na pumapasok. Most of them are looking for ad hoc roles, mostly accounting related, virtual assistants, may mga IT tech related na, like for website building, website designing. So, yun yung mga naglalaro. Marketing, medyo pang-apat, pang-lima, medyo hindi siya madami sa ngayon. One, it's because it's still expensive on the end ng mga SMEs. As much as possible, they want someone na medyo general yung scope, generalist actually. So, ayun. And then, we actually also change a little bit of the service. So, nag-allow kami sa mga SMEs to have part-time and ad hoc. So, kasi yung iba, dati kasi we just allow part-time and full-time. Right now, so tumatanggap kami ng mga clients na they just require 40 hours in the whole month. So, ganun. So, medyo nag-flexi kami in a sense so that we can also cater to those SMEs na kailangan talaga ng tulong. Ayun.
Ad hoc jobs are just like shorter.
Parang shorter lang. Like for specific task lang. And then pagtapos na, ayun. Just to help the Filipino remote workers and the SMEs na, alam mo yun, konti lang din kasi yung budget na meron sila.
Okay. It's like, if they just need, like, for example, they need maybe a database, mga ganon.
Like appointment setter for this season lang. So, ganon.
Okay. But at least there are openings. Okay. So that's good to hear. Okay. So how about BAM? So people, okay, so you have been doing your spiels, right? So how do you motivate these people?
Can you
So how
clarify like which particular?
Like they ask for like maybe daily motivation, etc. So how do you motivate them? Like, they wake up, okay, then they watch you or they connect with you, and then they're
I mean, people that the audience who watch. I think again, reminding people about that they're human. Kaya ang ganda ng story mo, Christina. That's the best story na. Yeah, I got angry, and because that's everyone's story, and that's a story that I think a lot of people will connect with more than. Kanina, I was doing another interview and broadcast, and they said I couldn't connect with you, Christina, if you said, and with all due respect, Bam, since the pandemic started, I've been okay. Everything has been okay. Everything has been perfect, and I say, God bless you, sure, but it kind of but the humanness of saying, darn, nagalit ako, nabuisit ako, I got overwhelmed, I couldn't sleep. I mean, that's real. And I think when I do these broadcasts, and I keep reminding people, teka muna, baka nakalimutan mo, you might have created a fantasy world where you think everything is shiny and rosy and perfect. It's not. You're constantly going to have struggles every day.
Right.
And people like hearing that. They're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. No, there isn't. But there's not enough people sending out the message there na, hey, you're normal, you're a human being. This is never taught to us, like not in my school anyway, or in our school, emotional literacy. And nothing against the school system, but I'm saying a lot of people are gearing towards more, teaching emotional intelligence, EQ, adversity quotient, AQ as well. Because now yung adversity quotient mo, it will determine whether you can survive or even thrive through crisis in life. And not a lot of us have that, that quotient very high. So that's why we break down. So
Yeah.
yun, I mean, sharing that and just reminding people of, and what's the option? The option is always, what do you choose to focus on? I can focus on how crappy life is, which is always there, diba? I mean, it's just always there. There's always something to complain about. There's always someone we don't like. Or but it's draining. It's draining energy. And that's when you feel at the end of the day, hindi ka makatulog, buisit ka, pagod ka. It's not a very good experience, So if I can shift the focus, then I can have a different life experience. And it's possible. That's just the main message.
Kasi like what happened to me, that's why I started also having consultancies. Kasi we're trapped in this condo unit. Okay, we've been trapped here since March. Okay, wala kaming kinakausap. Okay, kaming dalawa lang.
Wow.
Hindi naman sa nagsasawa kami, but it's really, diba? Kakabwisit, diba? So anyway, what I did, it kind of helped that, a lot of people were talking to me also and reaching out. So kahit pa paano, there was like some variety. Okay, as you go through the week, okay, there's variety. And then you set appointments with certain people. But, well, yung mga toxic na tao, medyo tumatawa-tawa lang ako. I don't really, parang just, I don't really absorb their energy. I just skim through them, okay? Ganon na lang ang ginagawa ko. And, you know what happened? I actually started watching The Big Bang Theory every day. Wala na.
Sheldon.
Yeah. All right. And young Sheldon. Okay. So it makes me ours laugh. Okay. So yun. How about Ken? Kayong dalawa ng asawa mo. How do you cope with it?
Well, parang kahit dito sa bahay, parang medyo we have different time frames eh. So we get to talk, we get to go out once a week pa rin. We go to Tagaytay, we go to different places to like change the feel, right? Pero naman kami dito, surviving. Wala naman kami masyadong, meron syempre mga talo-talo. Pero there's a difference when you get to work with your thoughts din kasi. So kunwari, magkakaroon ng misunderstanding. Nandun kami sa mindset na parang, teka lang, bakit ba may misunderstanding in the first place? Ano ba yung root nito? Address namin yung root. And then mamaya, wala mo nang pansinan kasi meron tayong tinitingnan dito yung mga emotional highs natin eh. And getting to understand how people work, men and women work, we're different, di ba? We cope, we have different coping mechanisms. So parang sa akin, ang naging ruling ko lang ever since, sabi ko, I know myself better than anyone else. So ang sa akin, ang coping mechanism ko is to mainit ulo ko, huwag mo kausapin. Mamaya na tayo mag-usap. Diba? Gusto ko lang maglaro, magtahimik or whatsoever. So parang pag alam na niya mainit ulo ko, paano na she will give distance. Pag alam ko mainit ulo niya, I listen. Kasi yun yung yun yung important sa kanya that someone listens to her. So parang ako minsan nakikinig na ako kahit galit na. Parang yeah. Nakikinig
Ayan,
ba?
Eunice.
Tagging fem.
Yun important eh. Kasi yun nga eh. As a couple, as husband and wife, you have to understand each other kung paano magalit yung isa't isa. And also kung paano mag-heal. So talagang pag may times din talagang away na talaga. Pag sobrang away na talaga, simple lang. We give each other distance para both of us can think for ourselves. Ang relationship namin, it's not about the two of us eh. We are both our own individuals kasi sa relationship namin. So she has her goals, I have mine. May diskarte siya, may diskarte rin ako. So getting to understand yung kahit magkaiba kami ng mundo, we believe that love will still connect us. Yeah.
We still prevail also.
Yeah, I love that you
Beautiful.
mentioned that you have your own sense of individual identity.
Wala.
That's very
Okay lang
important
tumingin
in
sa mga
relationship,
babae.
yeah.
Titingin ka ng TikTok tapos mag-heart ka ng mga babaeng sumasayaw. Okay lang yun. Hindi ko naman kakainin yung mga babae. Diba? So, ano lang yan. understanding how men and women are. Mahirap kasi, I agree with Bam eh. And yung laking factor, pinipigilan mo yung asawa mo, oh, bakit ka nakatingin dyan? Bakit mo hinart? Bakit ka nanonood ng TikTok ng ganyan sa masaya? Diba? I mean, nare-refresh yung pagkalalaki niya. So, ang nangyari, pag hindi nakatingin ngayon yung asawa, ako, ganun, doon yung gagawin.
Alam mo, yeah, ang gandang point niyan, Ken, no? There's also a psychological framework in it's called a nonviolent communication where they actually talk about that, Ken, na magkaharap tayo. Yeah, sure, I'll follow you in maamong tuta o sa harap mo. But pag talikod mo, I go crazy. I mean, I'm just laughing because it's such a true experience. And then the question is, which would you rather have? Like authenticity or pag magkaharap kayo? I mean, that's an important thing to... And not everyone can go in that space, Ken. I mean, I understand it because not everyone has this, perhaps they don't go into that level of awareness. But the moment wala na si husband or whatever, reverse could be, and then that's the moment that they go crazy. So that'll take process of working with coaching or people like Ken, I guess. Yeah, but that's so interesting that you mentioned that.
Well, kasi kami ni Hobby, what happened to us is we are working together kahit before the pandemic, okay? So, pero we were in a big office and I can have time out, okay? He can be in his own office and I can be on the floor, okay? Here kasi the space is smaller. So, talagang magkakapalit kayo ng muka. Pero kasi kami we already knew that we are opposite each other, yung pati sa behavior, okay? So alam niya, like he's actually milder, okay? Mild mannered, okay? Ako kasi yun nga, lumalabas si Chewbacca, okay? So yun, so we know that. So ang ginagawa lang namin, we have grown accustomed to yung mga cues na yon. Pag mag-aaway na, tahimik lang kami and then we have time out. So that's what we do. And then pagkatapos nun, bigla na lang tatawa na lang kami kasi malaki yung TV dito eh. Bigla na lang kami tatawa kasi we watched, there's something that was like, there was a line in Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory or maybe Eat Bulaga. Di ba? Corny namin, nag-Eat Bulaga kami. So that's it. So that's what we do. Okay, so we just, and of course, kasi we started off as friends. So we already know kung ano na yung mga tics namin, di ba? Mga antics.
But you sort of like were alluding to something that was so important sa relationship, Christina, which is humor. If I'm in a relationship and I can't laugh with someone, that can be really tough. To laugh at each other and to laugh at other things together. That's so important. That'll really spice up any relationship. So I think that's beautiful. Whether it's Eat Bulaga or the series that you watch, but laughter is beautiful. Ang mahirap dyan, diba, Eunice, yung partner mo, like, hindi na kayo nagtatawanan.
Yeah.
Mas nakakatakot yun. Everything is so serious and everything is just, but definitely humor is powerful.
And also at work, it's actually powerful, okay? When we used to have our office, kasi we've closed actually our office, okay? So that's what happened. So ang nangyari was, even our former employees were still in touch and we still drop each other a line or merong magpo-post ng joke sa group chat nila. So, yun. So, it's actually because the pandemic it's something that we cannot really control, diba? Yeah. Pero we don't really need to be, I mean, I'm sorry, but parang kasi for me kasi it's something that you cannot control. So, you just deal with it, yung mga symptoms niya, like if you need to do this, if you need to do that. But I didn't take it personally. Okay. Except na yung time na yun, sunod-sunod. Okay. But guys, 30 years from now, so we went through this historic thing. Okay. So what if your grandchildren will ask about what happened during this time? How would you say? How would you tell your story? Okay. Sa pinagdianan ninyo.
Teka lang, inisip ko, I'm 56 by that time. May apo na
Is
ba
it
ako nun?
meron kang niece, okay? May niece ka. Oh, they ask about, oh, what happened during that time? Oh,
Hmm.
kasi kami, alam mo ang panakot sa akin ni Hubby. Okay. Pag when our children ask about, kasi we're planning to adopt children eh. Pagdating daw nung time na yon, may lolo at lolo na kami. Sabi niya, I will tell them, your lola, as in, wala yung ginawa kundi pareho pa rin ugali niyan. Okay, senyorita pa rin kahit may pandemic na. Parang gano'n. Okay, so parang ganun daw niya ikikwento. So how about you guys? Okay, if you were asked by, if 30 years from now, you were asked to narrate your story, anong sasabihin niyo?
I'm not sure, to be
Not
honest.
sure. You got married. Oh.
Ang daming
She got
stories to
married.
tell.
You
Yung
got
panahon na
married.
yan, naku, ang dami kong stress kasi guys ako to para sa kasal.
Oh, yun.
So, yun.
Oo.
Actually, we also lost a loved one. So, medyo, nag-cope na rin naman yung buong family. Ang mahirap lang yung sunod-sunod na makita within your circles and your friends then that they also lost a loved one. So,
Yeah.
tough time talaga tong nangyari na to for everyone. And I think it also brought the good thing in us, we become stronger, 'di ba? We're thankful that we are still alive ngayon.
Yes.
So, ayun. Siguro yun yung
Nagtatawanan
makikwento
lang.
ko.
Nagtatawanan
Oo.
lang tayo dito,
Let
pero
this.
ito pa kwento ko sa inyo. Sasabihin pa ni Hubby, alam mo ko, ayan, binablog siguro ako ng asawa ko somewhere, okay? Baka ganon. But he said, alam mo ba kung ano yung pinack up ko na na emergency kit?
Ano?
Mga notebook tsaka fountain pen. Hindi niya nagulat siya. Ano ba to? Parang madaming nagdi-deliver na Lazada. Akala niya mga emergency items. Yung pala ang ginagawa ko, nag-hoard ako ng sketchbooks. So, okay, tapos sabi niya, bakit ang daming notebook sa locker mo? Ay, hindi, hinuhoard ko yan kasi mahirap bumili ng sketchbook. Sabi niya, sa lahat ng itatambak mo at i-hoard mo during emergency, art supplies ang hinuhoard mo. Okay. So, tanungin ko kayo, ano yung hinuhoard nyo na item?
Beauty products. Kasi it's pandemic, you have to take care of yourself.
Kailangan maganda pa rin. Si
Yeah.
Edward, ano yung hinuhoard mo? O, pag mahirap
Iniisip ko nga may hinord ba? I can't think of anything ngayon na that particularly na hinord ko. Baka pagkain siguro. I don't know. Maybe food.
pagkain.
Same with Bam. Wala akong masyadong sinaping eh. Ang main na talagang gusto ko lang i-hoard noon mga panahon na yun, nung talaga nagpa-panic buying, Yakult. So,
Okay.
sobrang kahit saan
May
punta ang SM.
nagkaubo siya ng Yakult sa mga grocery
Natandaan ko
store.
yan.
Pumunta ako ng
Natandaan ko
SM,
yan.
may problema ako. Saan dito yung Yakult? Sir, wala na po eh. Pulipat ako ng kabilang SM. May Yakult pa ba kayo? Wala. Tapos sobrang parang bad trip na. Pero yun nga, after ilang weeks, nag-normalize na ulit yung deliveries. So, Pure Gold was yung mga una yan. May Yakult sila, madami. So, excited ako mag-post sa stories no? Picture mo yung nakastack na Yakult, ang dami. Tapos ang dami nag-PM, Ken, saan yan? Punta kami dyan, di ba? Pero tapos, ang problema, you can only get 5. So up till now, you can only get 5 packs. So talagang kailangan isama ko yung asawa ko o magkahiwalay tayo ng bila para makakuha kami ng 10. And hanggang ngayon, yung pa rin hinuhold ko, Yakult pa rin.
Yeah, you need your probiotics.
Wala lang.
Kasi
bata,
ikaw, then naalala ko kasi yon kasi nag-message ka tapos sabi mo naghahanap ka ng Yakult.
Oh, yeah. Hindi alak hinanap ko eh. Hindi. Yakult.
Ito, okay, so yon yung mga hinord natin. Ano yung hinahanap yung item ngayon na wala pa sa grocery?
Parang lahat naman available na so far ngayon. Noong mga unang 2 buwan, siguro nagkaubusan yung mga stocks ng delata tsaka pansit canton. Nandun pa ako sa bahay namin, sa mommy ko. So, yung kapatid ko lang ang lumalabas para bumili ng supplies namin. Eh, 7 kami sa bahay. Hindi kasya yung 5 na pancit canton lang na allowed per person. So, ayun. Saya kami nung bumalik na yung yung mga stocks ng pancit canton. So, nag-hoard ulit sila doon sa bahay. Pero ako dito sa apartment, wala naman. I'm good. Ang hinord ko rin pala, tsaa. Ayan, nag-hoard ako ng tsaa. I have 5 variants ng loose leaf ngayon. So, shout out sa mga tito at tita.
Hindi, yun nga. Isa kasi like ako, I don't drink coffee now. But yung sa Tesco, yung na lang, yung very strong na lang, yun na yung the one, that's the strongest one, yun na lang yung naging available. Ngayon may variety na.
Yeah, they have the lemon ginger tea. I like that in sa Tesco.
Yeah. Yun. So anyway, parang seems like the stocks have normalized except that yung there parang wala pa atang corned beef. Parang ganun. Wala pa. Yun lang.
Palm. That's yummy.
Yes, okay. So anyway, yun yung hinahanap namin ngayon. Okay.
Hindi ko pa natitikman yan
Ako din same Ken.
Masarap yun, Ken. Wala, siya, it's like more
ba yan?
of the beef. I don't know. I think it's New Zealand. From New Zealand.
Sige. Corned beef. Sige.
Sige, hanapin natin yan sa grocery.
Challenge and adventures ko yan. Hanapin yung mga hindi mahanap.
Tsaka wheat bread palaging wala.
Meron. Ngayon meron.
Ngayon meron na. At saka escape ko yung pag-grocery. Parang the other day nag-grocery ako just to breathe. Kasi parang wala ka namang choice pag lalabas ka. Hindi ka rin pwedeng pumunta kung saan-saan. So grocery lang talaga yung go-to place para makahinga ka pag sobrang dami ng trabaho.
Pero magpo-full battle gear ka pa rin palabas.
True.
Kailangan mo mag-wash.
Yeah.
Ito yung hassle Pag kailangan mo mag-mask, tapos meron kang salamin. So ngayon, kuwari, nakasalamin ako, tapos magmamask ka, tapos mag-face shield ka. Pag humihinga ka, nagmo-moist yung salamin. Nagpo-fog yung salamin mo. Sobra, ang hassle. Solid.
Pero may mabibili ka kasi yung parang sa neck. It's actually parang it's an oxygen thing. Kasi, ewan ko, kasi ako binitan ako ng ganun ng asawa ko. Kasi parang the first time I went out to go to the parlor, diba? Yung pa yung...
Yes.
Parlor, ibang level yan
yun yung mga concerns ko. Yung, ay nako, walang parlor. Ganyan. Yun. Anyway, the first time I went out, nahirapan ako huminga. Kasi I think I wasn't used to, I don't know, the outside air. I don't know. Parang doon ako nahirapan. Yun. So, ngayon, okay, so in the next weeks to come, okay, so what do you think will be the scenario? As in, well, I hope that things will get better, okay, but so what will you tell people, okay, how to cope for the coming days until Christmas? Kasi pag Christmas, alam mo naman, people get lonelier during Christmas season. So what can you tell our viewers?
Ako, with my advocacy with the remote work, I always tell people na there's always a hope and there's a way for you to get a job pa din. Actually, yung kapatid ko isa din sa mga nawalan ng work and I think hindi na din naman lahat ng tao ay fit for remote work. So, part na rin sa akin na tutulungan ko yung kapatid ko to find his line of work kahit hindi siya remote work. Ayun, things will get better eventually. Tulungan lang talaga sa community, sa remote work community. Tulungan kapag may kakilala na nagkakailangan ng staff na ganito, recommendation. I think that's the best way lang na kaya kong maitulong for now. And prayers doon sa mga nangangailangan.
How about si Bam?
Yeah. Natutuwa lang ako habang pinapahinga ko si Eunice, parang hindi ka hindi ka negative pag si Eunice nagsasalita. Very calming, very positive.
Very positive.
Positive. Parang everything is okay. No, but you have that vibe, Eunice, which is great,
Thank you.
because we really need that. mine is get the focus out of fear. You've got wala na like get the focus out of fear and find gratitude, faith, courage, love, laughter, which you mentioned. That's got to be the focus till the end of the year. Cause I've been around and I've been going out more, but I can see that what really paralyzed this country, well, the world, but particularly dito, is the fear. But I felt that also no March, April, like what the heck is happening? What is this thing? Yung mag-grocery ako, dina-document ko, full battle gear. We're all
Mm.
separated. Grabe yung gap. Like if I touch this, do I get sick? If I buy that, if I touch the money, what the heck is this that I used to have to wash, all these water bottles? And I realized there's been a preaching of fear in society. It's just a preaching of fear, fear, and parang nilaikin ko nga siya sa terrorist attack. Guys, like if this is a terrorist attack and the objective was to strike fear into all of us, they've succeeded. No one freaking wants to go out. Like no one wants to freaking do anything. Everything is shut. They've succeeded. But for me, really, it's already a shift, and that's why I also appreciate people who are saying it. Please talk about like health more. How do you take care of your mental health, physical health? Because we don't talk about that. It's all this fear we're gonna get sick. Yeah, but how about sleeping? How about stopping all the sugar that you're eating? How about stopping all these other food that you're putting into your body that's not helping you? How about putting a little cardio or walking or finding some way to be active? And how about also releasing pinag-usapan kanina, that anger? So it's important to have those dialogues. I feel so people can shift from all this fear and panic and worry to like, hey, life can be great. It can be great if we just not focus on all the crap that's being. Minsan may magpo-post, oh, there's a new virus, there's a new strain, there's a new, and 10,000 people share it, and like there's more stuff to be scared of this year, and but it never ends. It's just constant fear. So for me, yeah, focusing on just the opposite of that. It could be faith, it could be love, it could be courage. It does not mean that we'll be unwise in kung magpa-party na tayo, we're kissing and hugging everyone. Of course, there's still exercise, a wisdom when you're relating to people, but definitely that fear has got to go. Fear, itatagline ko na yun, like, fear has got to go. That's it for me.
Okay. Ay, Ken, meron bang comments sa ating
Yeah, meron tayong comments coming from our friends. Okay, so syempre, sabi ni JC kanina, hello everyone watching from Subic, Zambales. Alright, so hi JC. Sabi niya, ito yung sa tanong kanina, no? I would probably tell the younger ones that the pandemic was a time when family members got more time to spend with each other. And attending classes was challenging, was fun. Was challenging, was fun. Okay. People got to learn more stuff and people learned to appreciate and collaborate with each other. Yeah. Very, very good statements. Yeah.
Well said, JC.
Oh, well said. Well said. So sabi, nag-hi din si Venice Murillo. Hi. Hi, Venice. Tapos yung friend ko, si Ralph Cedro. Yeah. What's up, Ralph? Thank you for joining in. So yun yung mga comments natin sa ating live stream. Yeah.
Ako kasi isa lang iniisip ko siguro naman there will come a time that internet will be better.
Ay, please. Yes. Nag-post ako niyan kanina sa community. Like a reminder if the internet is dropping down, especially umuulan ngayon, di ba? So na-experience ko yung low internet kanina. I'm not Liza Soberano, but yeah, we can find ways to cope yung ating mga connection.
Comment ko rin. Yeah, comment ko rin, sabi ni Freshie or Presyo, sabi niya, fear gotta go. Sabi, syempre, ang gandang hashtag din yan. Sabi, Kebang, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, alam mo, something happened actually. So this roller coaster ride, I wouldn't say I'm thankful it happened, but I was able to see facets of my skills. Okay, ngayon, okay. Would you believe I'm teaching art? Okay, it's something that I never did. I mean, I would draw, okay, and it's something that I kept for myself. Pero it kind of pushed me kasi nga I'm now teaching kids, okay. So well, if when you're talking to kids, parang napaka-inosente kasi nila eh. Parang they don't really care about the pandemic, ganun pa rin sila. I have one student, what she wanted to be when she grows up. She wants to be a pop star princess. Would you believe? Pop star. That's she would So it's very very innocent yung mga classes. Okay, so that's what I remember about this pandemic. Okay, I don't have children, but I was able to also explore my inner child. Hindi na ako masyadong serious ngayon. Dati napaka-seryoso ko eh. Ayun, lumabas nga si Chewbacca eh. Di ba? Okay. Anyway, okay. So, guys, do you have any gigs? Okay, anything to promote?
Ako, I have to promote, kasi isa kami sa mga naapektuhan ng glitch ng Facebook. So, the Facebook page of Remote Staff was unpublished, unfortunately. But I'd like to promote Remote Staff job seeker community for everyone who wanted to explore working remotely. Please join Remote Staff job seeker group on Facebook and join our community, another community, Filipino freelancers with Australian clients if you are looking for more job opportunities from other agencies as well. So join that group. Yun lang.
How about Bam?
Yeah, just I'm inviting everyone to follow me at the page where I do a lot of my live Bam Santiago. That's on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram at Bam Santiago 88. Also, if you or someone you know needs to work with a coach, send them my way. For me, it's really work of shifting and changing the energy from something that is self-defeating to something that is more life-giving and life-serving. So that's the work that I do.
Okay. And how about your projects with LifeKite? Can you tell us more about
Yeah,
that?
with LifeKite, ano naman eh, like LifeKite, I'm doing a lot of private sessions, corporate work online for now, but I will be also holding a public program online. I'll be posting that, so watch my space na lang for that. Usually my programs are 2 or 3 days, usually for 3 to 3.5 hours a day. So a lot of people can adjust their time to the program.
Okay. Okay, Ken. Okay. Anything new with you?
Syempre, nakatutok pa rin kami dun sa upcoming workshop ni George Ramos.
This
And
Saturday.
this coming Saturday, October 17, that is how to manage and lead small teams. So focus yun dun. Siguro I'm supporting him with this talk. I'll do some talks, some small bits, some topics in regards to conversational hypnosis and how it can help with managing conflict. Siguro mga words that work to like madaling laruin yung utak ng mga tao. Diba? Pwede yan. And then, siguro, upcoming pa rin, we're still finalizing, habang finalization ito ng hypnotic communication in where we teach Euro-linguistic programming, conversational hypnosis, and hypnotic language. It's a master class, so it's probably around 3 days. And excited to announce then, by next year, we're gonna launch an NLP certification program
Nice.
under an international certifying body. So excited for that. So yeah,
Yes.
that's all for me. Yeah.
Well, we're all waiting for that, Ken. Okay,
Yeah,
yung international certification. Okay, so with HR shouts naman, so also this Saturday, so we have IT for decision makers. Okay, that's part of the webinar facilitated by Mr. Benjamin Caruncio. Okay, so that's part of the HR Skills Clinic 2020, and the Saturday after that, okay, October 24, will be HR Operations, my webinar on HR Operations. So, na kayo dun sa email ng Circologica, which is training@circologicagroup.com. Yun. So, those are the projects that we're busy with, okay? So, just keep on also browsing through our page, okay, to see upcoming announcements from the experts here and also from the other experts who are members of HR Shouts and Whispers.
All right.
Okay, so it's been a busy night for everyone, okay? And I guess you can, those who are yung hahabol for the replay, you can like type in your comments or feedback doon sa comment section, and then we'll be happy to address them. Okay, so Bam, okay, Eunice and Ken, we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eunice,
You.
Bam,
Thank you,
Christina.
Ken.
Have a great night.
Thank you,
And
Eunice and
message.
Christina.
Yeah. Have a
Yeah.
great night, guys.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
Okay,
you.
Take
thank
Thank you,
you,
care.
Bam and
everyone.
Eunice. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.
Good
Bye.
night.